Hi, Casta. I'm finally here. You asked me to answer your question number 10, and I missed that deadline, and I missed question 11. So here I am to answer question number 12. What is the purpose of religion in your culture? I should say I'm here to give you my thoughts. I don't think they even qualify as my answer. They're more thoughts. And I've got to apologize in advance for how long I'm sure this thing is going to be. And I haven't prepared because I have this crazy desire to do these vlogs without preparation off the top of my head, so I can know, so I can actually watch myself and see whether I make any sense at all. And I'm sorry if I don't. Unless, of course, people enjoy watching me not make sense. Gee, how much time have I spent with this preamble? Question number 12. What is the purpose of religion in your culture? Well, okay. I'm going to answer this in two different senses. What is the purpose of religion in human culture in general? And then I want to talk about religion in the United States. Okay, as far as religion in culture in general, I think that the standard atheist opinion, or at least the standard atheist opinion, the general atheist opinion among YouTube atheists and among new Richard Dawkins-esque atheists, is that religion is a method for herding and fleecing the sheep-like majority for the benefit of wolves in shepherd's clothing. But I would say, although that's true as far as it goes, that religion, the purpose of religion in all human culture is to serve a need that all human cultures have in common, whether or not every individual in those cultures has that same need. Every culture has this need. What is this need? Well, it's not, and I don't think that it is necessarily a. Oh, you know what? I'm really not interested in my own answer to this right now, because it's half baked and I'm working it up as I go along. I don't really know, but what I do want to say to my fellow atheists, based on what I see whenever I watch my fellow atheists on YouTube, is that religion serves a purpose for, I think I'm safe to say, a majority of humanity. And it doesn't really matter if it's true or not. The problem I have with the new atheism movement is the idea that atheism is going to be able to educate away religion, or in some other way wipe it out, and that to do so would definitely be a good thing because it's self-evident that religions are front and center in every atrocity that human beings commit upon themselves and upon the planet. And that I certainly agree with that. You just can't get away from the relationship between people's religious beliefs and the violence that people do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the religious belief that causes that behavior, so much as that the same thing that causes the behavior, well, I should say that it may be that human nature causes the behavior and the religious belief, and it's a correlation, not a causation, either one way or the other. Neither the violence causes the religion, nor the religion causes the violence. Whatever. Eh, eh. So much of this stuff that's going on YouTube with atheism, I just realize is actually just not something that I necessarily fit into, simply because a lot of it is just so obviously about a war with Christian or Abrahamic faith that I never had to wage. And although I can sort of understand it in small doses, when I see it massively, I just keep remembering Nietzsche's famous saying, "He who fights too long against dragons becomes a dragon himself." If your life is war, then your enemy is your most precious ally. Okay? Where did I go off track on this subject? What have I said and what haven't I said? What I question is this idea that because science shows us truths that huge swaths of humanity just cannot wrap their minds around, and instead choose to believe strange and confusing and self-contradictory religious stories, that because science can show this to some people, it can show it to everyone, and that a world in which everyone was like Richard Dawkins, or like me, or God help us, like, one less God, would be a better place. Doesn't matter whether they're right about God, about what God is, it doesn't matter if their ideas even make sense. Not too long ago, science thought that one of the good things that it could do for humanity was wipe out pests. Okay? And now we know better. Now we know that pests are part of an ecosystem. And if you kill off the pests, after a while you end up killing yourself off. And it's fairly rudimentary truism for anybody who's in the know about science, that you got to be very careful about what pests you wipe out and how you go about it. Okay? Enough said? I don't know. Anyway, so I hope that the logic of that the little ellipse there at the end, not a good idea necessarily to wipe out the pests, not necessarily beneficial, even though pests are bad. They're bad. They kill people. They destroy crops and all that. But somehow, weirdly enough, they're necessary. Can you just follow the ellipse from there to what I'm talking about with the idea of, atheism finally triumphing over religious belief? Okay. So then the second part of how I wanted to answer, which is the question of religion in my culture, the United States. Now, right now in the world, okay, I choked on part 2. My grand theory of religion in the United States is going to have to wait for another vlog, because I just humiliated myself. You guys cannot see my attempt to express myself on this point. Went really, really long. I'm just going to have to cut it off here. Hopefully there was something of value in what I've already said.